a deep, practical dive into franchising. Introduction: the world of franchising, a pathway to ownership, opportunity, and scalable growth. Franchising is one of the most powerful and often misunderstood business models in the world. For more than a century, it has shaped global brands, empowered everyday people to become business owners, and created pathways for growth that few other business structures can match. From neighborhood coffee shops and gyms to cleaning companies, tutoring centers, and automotive services, franchises represent thousands of businesses people interact with every single day, often without realizing they are independently owned and operated. At its core, franchising is a partnership model. A franchisor develops a proven business concept, builds a recognizable brand, and designs operational systems that work predictably and consistently. A franchisee then invests in that model, operating their own location using the franchisor's brand, systems, and guidance. Unlike starting a business entirely from scratch, franchising offers a roadmap, a tested framework that reduces uncertainty and helps the owner avoid many of the mistakes new entrepreneurs usually face. But while franchising may offer structure and support, it is not a shortcut, nor is it a guarantee of success. Franchise ownership still demands commitment, discipline, leadership ability, financial responsibility, and a willingness to learn. The difference is that instead of figuring everything out alone, franchisees are stepping into a business that has already been designed, refined, and proven to function. This guide is designed to explore franchising in a deep, practical, and realistic way, going far beyond surface-level explanations. Many people think of franchising only in terms of fast food restaurants and global chains, but the franchise world is far more diverse than that. Today, franchises exist in sectors such as home care, mobile services, education, real estate support, beauty, health and wellness, automotive repair, logistics, and more. Each industry brings its own cost structure, operating style, level of involvement, and income potential. Understanding these differences is essential before making any investment decision. In recent years, franchising has also become more appealing to a wider range of people. Some choose franchising as a way to transition from employment into entrepreneurship. Others see it as a means to diversify income, build multi-unit portfolios, or create generational wealth. For some, franchising is a way to operate a business while benefiting from established credibility and brand awareness. For others, it is a stepping stone toward building larger business networks and long-term financial independence. Yet, despite its potential, franchising is not automatically the right fit for everyone, and that is an important reality to acknowledge early on. The structure that makes franchising reliable is the same structure that requires owners to follow established rules, procedures, and brand guidelines. People who want complete creative freedom or who prefer experimenting with new ideas may find franchising restrictive. On the other hand, individuals who value systems, consistency, and support often thrive in this environment. This is why informed decision-making is critical. Entering a franchise blindly, based only on brand recognition or emotional excitement, can lead to regret, financial strain, or operational stress. Successful franchise owners do not rely on the brand name alone. They study the business model, understand the industry, analyze cost structures, and evaluate risk before committing.
They ask questions about location economics, operational challenges, labor requirements, market competition, and long-term scalability. In short, they approach franchising as a serious business venture because that is exactly what it is. This guide has been structured to help you think like that type of informed investor. The first major part of this journey involves understanding franchise industries, not just the brands within them. Different sectors operate under different conditions. A food franchise may generate frequent daily transactions, but require high staffing levels and equipment investment. A cleaning or home service franchise may involve lower startup costs and recurring contracts, but demand strong scheduling and workforce management. A fitness or wellness franchise may offer community-driven engagement and recurring membership revenue, but also face seasonal fluctuations and competition. Retail franchises may depend heavily on location traffic and inventory turnover, while service-based franchises emphasize relationships, trust, and operational efficiency. By comparing these industries side by side, you gain a clearer sense of where your personality, capital capacity, interests, and management style may fit best. The second major focus of this guide examines low-cost versus high-investment franchises. Many new entrepreneurs assume franchising always requires huge capital, but that is not always true. Some franchises can be started with moderate investment, often in service or mobile-based sectors. Others require substantial funding, particularly those with physical storefronts, equipment needs, or large operational footprints. Each investment level comes with different expectations in terms of risk, time to profitability, operational complexity, and income potential.
Understanding these contrasts helps you evaluate what level of responsibility and financial exposure you are comfortable carrying. The third and equally important dimension of franchising explored in this guide looks at the model from the other side, how a business owner becomes a franchisor. Many successful entrepreneurs eventually reach a point where they ask themselves whether their business concept could expand beyond a single location. Franchising, when approached correctly, can transform a strong business into a scalable network, allowing other entrepreneurs to operate under the same brand, while helping the original creator grow faster than traditional expansion methods would allow. However, turning a business into a franchise is not simply a matter of creating a logo and selling licenses. It requires documented systems, proven profitability, legal compliance, training infrastructure, quality standards, and a culture of accountability. A franchisor is not only selling a business opportunity, they are taking responsibility for supporting others in building their own livelihoods through that system. That level of responsibility demands preparation, integrity, and long-term vision. Throughout this guide, the goal is not to persuade you for or against franchising. Instead, the goal is to give you clarity, the kind of clarity that empowers confident decisions. You will see both the strengths and limitations of the model, the opportunities it can unlock, and the challenges that must be handled realistically. You will learn how different industries behave, how investment levels influence outcomes, and what it takes to move from owner-operator to franchise brand creator. Franchising has helped many people build fulfilling careers, strong businesses, and meaningful economic impact in their communities. It has also challenged others who entered unprepared, underestimated responsibilities, or misunderstood the realities of ownership.
The difference between those two outcomes often rests on knowledge, preparation, alignment, and deliberate planning. This guide invites you to explore franchising thoughtfully, not as a trend or quick financial idea, but as a strategic pathway that requires insight, discipline, and intention. Whether you are someone considering buying your first franchise, an investor exploring multi-unit opportunities, or a business owner curious about transforming your concept into a franchise system, the chapters ahead are designed to give you depth, structure, and perspective. Franchising is not simply about operating a business. It is about joining, or creating, a system of shared standards, mutual benefit, and collective brand identity. When approached with understanding and responsibility, it can become a powerful tool for growth, opportunity, and long-term success. Let's begin that journey, one thoughtful, informed step at a time.
Chapter 1. Understanding Franchise Industries, a deep, practical, comparative guide. Franchising is not a single type of business. It is a structure that exists across many different industries, each with its own economics, challenges, lifestyle demands, and opportunities. Two franchises may both operate under the same legal model, yet feel completely different to run on a day-to-day basis, depending on the sector they belong to. That is why one of the most important steps in franchise decision-making is not simply choosing a brand. It is choosing an industry that aligns with your strengths, resources, and long-term goals. This chapter explores the major categories of franchise industries in detail, including how they work, what makes them profitable, what risks they face, and the type of operator who tends to thrive in each field. Rather than looking at franchising as one big marketplace of opportunities, this chapter helps you understand the landscape industry by industry, so you can see where you may truly fit. We will examine food and restaurant franchises, cleaning and home services franchises, fitness, health, and wellness franchises, retail and convenience franchises, education and child-focused franchises, automotive and transportation services, senior care and support services, pet care and specialty lifestyle franchises, real estate, property, and service support franchises, emerging, technology-driven, and trend-based franchise concepts.
For each industry, we will explore business model structure, operational style and daily realities, startup and ongoing cost characteristics, revenue drivers and profit dynamics, scalability and growth potential, competitive and market cycle factors, strengths, limitations, and risk considerations, the profile of owners who typically perform best. The goal is not to label one industry as better or worse than another. Instead, it is to show that each sector succeeds for different reasons, attracts different types of entrepreneurs, and requires different skill sets to run well. Let's begin with the most visible and often the most misunderstood franchise category of all. Section 1. Food and restaurant franchises. Food franchising is the image most people think of first when they hear the word franchise. Fast food counters, coffee chains, pizza shops, bakeries, sandwich outlets, and casual dining restaurants dominate shopping centers and high-traffic streets worldwide. Yet behind the bright signs and familiar menus lies a complex and demanding business model, one that can be highly rewarding for the right owner, but equally unforgiving for those who underestimate its realities. Business model overview. Food and restaurant franchises typically operate on high transaction volume, slim margins per sale, consistent daily operations, heavy staffing requirements, dependence on location traffic and visibility. Revenue is driven primarily by daily food sales, combos, add-ons, and upselling, delivery and online orders, seasonal or promotional offerings. Unlike service-based franchises where contracts bring recurring income, restaurants rely on continuous customer flow, which means marketing, convenience, speed, and customer experience all play critical roles. Startup and operating cost profile. Food franchises usually sit on the high investment end of franchising because of commercial kitchen equipment, leasehold improvements and build-out, furniture and dining layout, licensing, inspections and health compliance, initial inventory and supplies, staff recruitment and training. Ongoing costs include ingredients and food supply, labor and scheduling, utilities and maintenance, waste and spoilage, royalty and marketing fees. Even with strong brand recognition, profitability depends on tight cost control and disciplined operations. Strengths of the food franchise sector. Constant consumer demand, people eat daily. Strong brand loyalty when experience is consistent. High daily transaction frequency.
potential to expand into multi-unit ownership, financing sometimes easier due to brand strength. Successful operators often scale by owning multiple locations in the same region, sharing management teams and purchasing efficiencies. Challenges and risk factors. Thin margins, small mistakes can erode profit. Labor-intensive operations and staffing turnover. Food safety and compliance responsibilities. Dependence on local competition and foot traffic. Exposure to supply chain or cost fluctuations. Food franchising rewards hands-on, disciplined, operationally focused owners, especially during the first years of operation. Owners who expect the business to run itself rarely succeed in this sector. Who thrives in this industry? Food franchises fit owners who are comfortable managing teams and schedules, pay attention to detail and operational consistency, can handle fast-paced work environments, value structure and standard execution, are willing to be active leaders, especially early on. For people seeking a lifestyle-light business or a low-involvement investment, food franchising is rarely the right match.
Section 2. Cleaning and Home Services Franchises. Cleaning and home service franchises represent one of the fastest growing and most accessible sectors in franchising, especially for first-time business owners and entrepreneurs looking for lower-cost entry points. This sector includes residential cleaning services, commercial and office janitorial contracts, carpet, tile, and floor care services, window and exterior cleaning, restoration or sanitation services. Unlike restaurants, these businesses are service-based rather than location-based. Business model characteristics. Revenue typically comes from recurring client contracts, routine service schedules, add-on specialty services. Many cleaning businesses operate using mobile service teams, central scheduling and route planning, simple equipment and supply requirements. Because there is no retail storefront, overhead costs tend to be significantly lower than brick-and-mortar franchise models. Cost and investment profile. Startup costs are often moderate due to minimal or no retail lease requirements, simple equipment and supply inventory, vehicle or transportation needs rather than facility build-out. Ongoing costs include labor and technician wages, supplies and consumables, transportation and fuel, customer support and administration. This structure allows many owners to reach cash flow stability faster than in capital-heavy sectors. Strengths of the cleaning franchise industry: predictable recurring revenue models, strong demand across residential and commercial markets, lower operational overhead, easier to scale by adding teams and service zones, often recession resilient. Growth comes from building long-term client relationships rather than relying on walk-in traffic. Challenges and risks: staff turnover and training requirements, quality consistency across teams, scheduling and logistics complexity, competitive local markets with price pressure.
The key success factor is service reliability and reputation. Customers remain loyal only when delivery is consistent. Who succeeds in this industry? This sector suits owners who are organized and system-oriented, enjoy managing teams and scheduling, focus on relationship building and customer trust, prefer scalable service-based income over retail operations. Cleaning franchises are often ideal for entrepreneurs who want controlled growth without heavy capital commitments, especially those willing to build gradually and reinvest profits. Section 3. Fitness, Health, and Wellness Franchises. The fitness and wellness industry has grown dramatically over the past decade, evolving from traditional gyms into specialized, experience-driven concepts such as boutique fitness studios, functional training centers, yoga and Pilates studios, boxing and martial arts training, massage, recovery, and wellness therapy services. Unlike transaction-based industries, many of these businesses revolve around membership and recurring subscription models. Business model structure. Revenue generally flows from monthly memberships, class packages and sessions, personal training or specialty programs, wellness or retail product add-ons. A strong community environment often becomes the driving force behind retention and customer loyalty. Cost and operational landscape. Costs may include studio build-out and equipment, lease commitments for large spaces, staff or instructor compensation, marketing and customer acquisition. While revenue potential can be strong, cash flow depends significantly on consistent member retention rather than one-time sales. Strengths of the fitness franchise sector. Recurring income from membership models, strong emotional and lifestyle connection with clients, opportunities for multi-location regional presence, community-based branding and culture. Owners who build supportive environments often see higher retention and organic word-of-mouth growth.
Challenges and risks. Membership churn during economic downturns, local competition in urban areas, seasonal motivation cycles, dependence on strong customer engagement. Success requires ongoing energy, community leadership, and proactive relationship building, not passive ownership. Owner profile that performs best. Fitness franchises typically suit people who enjoy people-focused environments, are comfortable motivating and engaging customers, value health and wellness culture, are willing to stay actively involved in marketing and community presence. In this industry, passion alone is not enough. Owners also need strong business discipline and retention strategies. Section 4. Retail and Convenience Franchises. Retail and convenience franchises operate in environments where visibility, accessibility, and inventory management all play central roles. This sector includes convenience and mini-mart stores, mobile phone and tech retail outlets, cosmetics and beauty product stores, specialty retail boutiques. Unlike service industries where revenue is created through labor delivery, retail relies on product turnover and consumer purchasing behavior. Business model dynamics. Revenue depends largely on walk-in customer traffic, product inventory mix, impulse and repeat purchases, strategic merchandising. Profitability hinges on margin control, consistent stock flow, and effective product selection. Cost structure. Startup costs often include store build-out and fixtures, initial inventory purchasing, point-of-sale systems, leasing, and utilities. Ongoing operating costs require careful planning due to inventory restocking, shrinkage or theft loss control, staff coverage for extended hours. Strengths of the retail sector. Strong brand leverage in high-traffic areas, opportunity for steady daily transactions, scalable through multi-location expansion, predictable recurring customer behavior. Well-positioned stores can benefit substantially from consistent community visibility.
Challenges and risk factors. Inventory mismanagement or overstocking, exposure to market changes and consumer trends, competition from e-commerce or discount retailers, dependency on location performance. Retail success is a game of data-driven purchasing, operational discipline, and ongoing adaptation. Who excels in retail franchising? These franchises align best with owners who are detail-oriented and financially disciplined, understand customer behavior and product demand, can manage supply chains and staff efficiently, are comfortable working in structured operating environments,
Retail is strongest for entrepreneurs who value systematic management rather than highly creative experimentation. Section 5. Education and child-focused franchises. Education and child service franchises operate in a space where business intersects with purpose. These concepts include tutoring and learning centers, after-school academic programs, STEM, robotics, and coding clubs, early learning enrichment programs, music, arts, and language centers. Parents are not buying a convenience product. They are investing in their children's future, confidence, and opportunities. That emotional and developmental connection makes this industry uniquely meaningful, but also uniquely demanding in terms of quality and trust. Business model foundations. Revenue is typically generated through monthly tuition or enrollment fees, class packages and program subscriptions, seasonal camps and workshops, private or small group sessions. Unlike retail or food franchises, success depends heavily on student outcomes, parent satisfaction, and long-term relationships.
Strengths of the education franchise sector. High trust value and emotional investment from parents. Recurring revenue from ongoing enrollment cycles. Strong community reputation benefits. Opportunity for meaningful, mission-driven work. Owners often find personal fulfillment beyond financial return, making this sector particularly attractive to purpose-oriented entrepreneurs. Challenges and risk factors. Seasonal demand fluctuations, school schedules, holidays. Sensitivity to reputation and word-of-mouth feedback. Licensing or compliance requirements in some regions. Dependence on qualified, credible instructors. A single negative experience can affect retention and referrals, making quality control essential. Owner profile that fits best. Education franchises suit owners who value impact-driven work and community connection, are patient, relationship-oriented, and detail-focused, can manage structured programs and professional standards, care deeply about service quality and trust building. This industry favors leaders who see education as a calling, not just a transaction. Section 6. Automotive and transportation service franchises. Automotive franchises serve essential recurring needs: maintenance, repairs, and vehicle care. Common concepts include oil change and quick service maintenance centers, tire and alignment shops, auto repair and diagnostics, car wash and detailing services, windshield and glass repair. Because vehicles require ongoing servicing, these businesses benefit from repeat customers and long-term loyalty. Business model characteristics. Revenue streams often include routine maintenance services, diagnostic and repair work, add-on services and upgrades, fleet contracts or commercial clients. Customer relationships are built on trust, transparency, and reliability.
Strengths of the automotive franchise sector. Consistent and ongoing consumer demand, high lifetime value per customer, strong opportunities for recurring business, scalable through multi-bay or multi-location operations. Well-managed locations can develop highly loyal customer bases that return for years. Challenges and risks. Dependence on trained, reliable technicians. Technical complexity requiring operational oversight. Reputation highly sensitive to perceived honesty. Equipment maintenance and upgrade costs. Success in this industry depends on credibility, operational controls, and fair pricing practices. Who thrives here? This sector aligns with owners who are comfortable managing technical operations, value integrity and customer trust, can build strong team and workflow systems, prefer essential service industries with recurring demand. Automotive franchising is ideal for practical, systems-driven operators.
Section 7. Senior Care and Support Service Franchises. Senior care franchises serve a rapidly expanding global need as aging populations grow and families seek professional care solutions. Common models include non-medical in-home care services, companion and daily living assistance, mobility and accessibility support, transportation and appointment assistance. Unlike transactional businesses, senior care involves deep personal trust and emotional sensitivity. Business model structure. Revenue typically comes from hourly care plans, long-term client support packages, family-funded or insurance-supported services. Strong retention emerges when families feel secure in the quality and compassion of care provided. Investment and cost profile. Major expenses include caregiver recruitment and background checks, training and compliance procedures, scheduling and care management systems, administrative and support staffing. These businesses are staff-intensive but not facility-dependent, which keeps overhead moderate compared to brick-and-mortar sectors. Strengths of the senior care industry. Growing and stable long-term demand. High client retention once relationships are established. Strong purpose-driven mission appeal. Opportunity to create meaningful social impact. Many owners describe the work as emotionally fulfilling as well as financially viable. Challenges and responsibility factors. Emotional and ethical responsibility toward clients. Staffing consistency and caregiver reliability. Regulatory and safety compliance expectations. Sensitivity to family feedback and trust concerns. This is not a business for owners seeking a detached or purely financial role. Owner profile that performs well. Senior care franchising fits people who are compassionate and people-centered, value professionalism and care quality, can manage staff with empathy and accountability, understand the seriousness of client well-being. It is a sector where heart, leadership, and responsibility must align.
Section 8. Pet Care and Lifestyle Service Franchises. The pet care industry has grown significantly as pets increasingly become viewed as family members. Franchise models include pet grooming and spa services, boarding and daycare centers, pet training and behavior programs, mobile pet care and specialty services. This sector thrives on emotional connection and owner trust in the safety and comfort of their pets. Business model overview. Revenue often includes service appointments, membership packages, add-on upgrades, and retail products. Customer loyalty grows when pets enjoy a consistent, positive experience. Strengths. Strong emotional brand attachment, recurring service schedules, expanding consumer spending in pet markets, community-based word-of-mouth growth. Challenges. Staffing and animal handling expertise, liability and safety considerations, facility upkeep and sanitation requirements. Owners must prioritize care standards, safety protocols, and compassion-driven service. Section 9. Real estate, property, and service support franchises. This group includes property management services, real estate support operations, rental assistance and tenant service models, home inspection or restoration support services. These franchises rely on professional expertise, relationship building, and recurring service contracts rather than walk-in customers. Strengths. Contract-based recurring revenue, low inventory requirements, professional service brand credibility. Challenges. Market cycle fluctuations, relationship-driven client acquisition, licensing or compliance requirements. This industry fits owners who are organized, analytical, and professionally oriented.
Section 10. Emerging, trend-driven, and technology-based franchise concepts. This final category represents innovation-oriented franchises, such as eco-friendly products and sustainability services, mobile-based convenience services, tech repair and device services, specialty beverage or lifestyle concepts. These franchises can experience rapid early growth, but also higher trend volatility. Opportunities, early market advantage, low competition in new niches, brand momentum potential. Risks, unproven long-term stability, market trends may fade, limited performance history for evaluation. Entrepreneurs must approach this category with careful research and disciplined risk assessment. Closing reflection for Chapter 1. Across all these industries, one truth stands out. There is no best franchise industry, only the industry that best fits the owner's strengths, resources, personality, and long-term ambitions. Some sectors reward operational discipline, others reward compassion, relationship building, technical management, or community engagement. The most successful franchise owners choose industries not only for profit potential, but because they align with the kind of work they are willing and motivated to do daily. This completes the full industry-by-industry comparison foundation for the guide.
Chapter 2. Low-cost versus high-investment franchises. Understanding investment levels and what they mean for you. Franchising offers a broad spectrum of investment opportunities, ranging from businesses you can start with under $10,000 to multi-million-dollar ventures requiring deep pockets and complex management. Understanding this spectrum is crucial because the size of your investment shapes almost every aspect of your franchise journey: your risk exposure, the speed of return, operational complexity, financing options, and even the lifestyle you'll lead as a business owner. This chapter breaks down the low-cost and high-investment franchise models to help you assess where you fit and what to expect from each. Section 1. What defines low-cost and high-investment franchises? There is no universal threshold, but generally, low-cost franchises require between $5,000 and $100,000. Mid-range franchises require between $100,000 and $500,000, and high-investment franchises require between $500,000 to $2 million plus. Low-cost franchises often involve mobile, service-based, or home office operations with minimal real estate or equipment needs. High-investment franchises usually require physical storefronts or facilities, expensive equipment, staff, and inventory. Section 2. Low-cost franchises, advantages, challenges, and examples. What are low-cost franchises? Low-cost franchises are accessible entry points into business ownership. They often include mobile services, cleaning, pet care, tech repair, consulting or coaching franchises, small-scale retail or vending, educational tutoring centers with modest space. They appeal to entrepreneurs with limited capital or those seeking part-time or semi-absentee ownership. Advantages of low-cost franchises. Lower financial barrier. Easier to fund via personal savings, small loans, or family support. Faster break-even. Lower fixed costs can mean quicker path to profitability. Simpler operations. Fewer employees, less complex inventory, and streamlined management. Flexibility. Often mobile or home-based, enabling flexible scheduling. Test ownership. Good for first-time business owners to learn entrepreneurship with lower risk. Challenges and risks. Lower revenue ceiling. Smaller scale means limited maximum earnings per unit. Hands-on management. Many require owner involvement to keep customer service and operations smooth. Brand recognition. Smaller franchises may have less brand awareness and marketing muscle. Growth limits. Scaling can be slow unless you reinvest profits or buy multiple units. Section 3. High investment franchises. Advantages, challenges, and examples. What are high investment franchises? These include businesses requiring substantial capital up front for real estate leases or purchases, store build-outs or kitchen equipment, larger staff teams, significant inventory and supply chains. They often operate in retail, food service, fitness clubs, or automotive services. Advantages of high investment franchises: higher revenue potential. Larger scale operations generate more sales and profits. Stronger brand presence. Many high investment franchises are nationally or internationally recognized. Easier financing access. Banks and investors are more willing to finance well-known capital-intensive franchises. Multi-unit growth potential. Easier to build a regional network with economies of scale. Challenges and risks. High financial risk. Larger capital exposure means bigger losses if business struggles. Longer time to profitability. Often require several months or years to become cash flow positive. Complex operations. Managing larger teams, inventory, and facilities require sophisticated skills.
Ongoing royalty and marketing fees. These fees impact profitability and must be factored into budgets. Section 5. Key factors to consider when choosing your investment level. 1. Available capital and financing. How much can you invest up front without risking personal financial security? What loan options or investor partnerships are realistically available? 2. Risk tolerance. Are you comfortable risking a small amount with quick turnaround or a large amount with longer payback? How would you handle business pressure if sales fall short? 3. Desired lifestyle and involvement. Low-cost franchises often require more personal time and hands-on management. High investment franchises might enable hiring managers but need higher operational expertise. 4. Growth ambitions. Are you planning to start small and reinvest profits, or do you want to build a large regional or national presence quickly? 5. Industry fit. Some industries only have high investment franchise opportunities, e.g. full-service restaurants. Others offer flexibility in investment levels, e.g. cleaning, education. Section 5. How to evaluate your franchise investment options. Step 1. Define your budget range clearly. Know your maximum upfront and monthly financial commitment. Step 2. Understand all associated costs: franchise fee, equipment, build-out, working capital, royalty and marketing fees, insurance, licenses. Step 3. Project your cash flow realistically. Consider worst case, base case, and best case revenue and expenses. Step 4. Review franchise disclosure documents, FDD. Scrutinize financial performance representations, obligations, and restrictions. Step 5. Talk to existing franchisees. Get real-world insights into costs, profitability, and operational challenges. Step 6. Align investment with your risk profile and life goals. Make sure the franchise opportunity supports your vision.
Final thought. Choosing the right investment level is a balance between ambition, resources, and tolerance for risk. Low-cost franchises offer a gentler entry into entrepreneurship, while high-investment franchises open the door to larger-scale enterprise. But both require hard work, smart management, and commitment to succeed. Chapter 3. How to become a franchisor. Turning your business into a franchise system. Building a successful business is a remarkable achievement, but growing it into a franchise system, allowing others to replicate your success while expanding your brand footprint, is an entirely different and complex challenge. Becoming a franchisor means evolving from being just a business owner to becoming a business system creator, brand guardian, and network leader. This chapter explores the essential steps, considerations, and best practices for transforming your established business into a thriving franchise opportunity. Section 1. Why become a franchisor? Franchising offers several powerful advantages for business growth. Rapid expansion without the capital outlay and operational burden of opening all locations yourself. Leveraging other entrepreneurs' capital and effort to build your brand faster.
creating recurring revenue streams from franchise fees and royalties, building a national or international brand with local market presence, increasing business valuation by turning your business into a scalable, replicable system. However, it's important to remember franchising also comes with responsibilities. You become responsible for training, supporting, and monitoring franchisees. Your brand reputation depends on every franchise location. Legal compliance and disclosure obligations increase. You must maintain a consistent system and quality standard across the network. Franchising is a powerful growth strategy, but only if you are ready to build and manage a network, not just run a single business. Section 2. Is your business franchise ready?
Not all businesses are ready for franchising. Here are key criteria to evaluate. 1. Proven and profitable business model. Your business should have a strong, consistent track record of profitability and customer satisfaction, ideally over several years. 2. Replicable operations and systems. The core processes must be well documented, standardized, and capable of being taught and replicated by others with consistent results. 3. Strong brand identity and market demand. Your brand should have clear appeal and competitive advantage that franchisees can leverage. 4. Scalable supply chain and infrastructure. Your suppliers, logistics, and support systems need to handle increased volume as new units open. 5. Ability to support franchisees. You must have or build the internal capacity to provide ongoing training, marketing support, operational guidance, and quality control. Section 3. Developing your franchise system. Step 1. Document every aspect of your business. Create detailed manuals and guides covering operations, marketing and sales, customer service standards, employee training and HR policies, inventory and supply management, financial reporting and controls. Step 2. Build the training program. Develop comprehensive training materials and sessions for franchisees and their staff, covering every role and process. Step 3. Create legal franchise disclosure documents, FDD. Work with franchise attorneys to prepare required legal documents, including franchise agreement, franchise disclosure document, FDD, trademark registration and protection, intellectual property licensing. These documents explain the terms, fees, rights, and obligations to franchisees and ensure compliance with regulatory authorities. Step 4. Design the franchisee support structure. Plan your ongoing support, including initial onboarding and training, marketing and advertising assistance, field operation support and visits, technology platforms and systems, performance tracking and reporting.
Section 4. Setting the financial framework. You must decide franchise fee, the upfront fee charged to new franchisees for rights and initial support, royalty fee, ongoing percentage of gross sales or fixed fee paid to franchisor, advertising fee, contribution to brand marketing funds, other fees, training fees, renewal fees, technology fees, etc. Pricing should reflect the value of your brand and support, cover your operational costs, and remain attractive to potential franchisees. Section 5. Recruiting and selecting franchisees. Franchise growth depends on finding the right partners. Your ideal franchisee should align with your brand values and culture, have adequate financial resources, possess strong management and leadership skills, be committed to following your system and standards. Develop a clear franchisee qualification and approval process, including application and financial background checks, interviews and discovery days, legal review and contract signing. Section 6. Launching your franchise. Create a marketing strategy to attract franchisee leads, including website, trade shows, and digital campaigns. host discovery sessions and provide clear, transparent information. Close deals with selected candidates and provide thorough onboarding. Support initial site selection, build-out, and grand opening activities. Section 7. Operating your franchise network. Success requires consistent communication and feedback loops with franchisees, regular training updates and refresher programs, field audits and compliance checks to protect brand standards, data analytics and reporting systems to monitor network performance, continuous improvement of systems based on franchisee feedback and market trends. Section 8. Common challenges for new franchisors. Overextending before building solid support systems, underestimating legal and compliance complexities, managing franchisee relations and disputes, maintaining brand consistency across diverse locations.
Balancing growth speed with quality control. Section 9. Resources for aspiring franchisors. Franchise consultants and coaches. Franchise attorneys specializing in FDDs and agreements. Industry associations and franchising expos. Franchise management software platforms. Training and support system developers. Section 10. Final thoughts. Becoming a franchisor is not just about selling franchises. It is about creating a system that others can depend on, grow with, and represent proudly. It demands vision, discipline, patience, and a genuine commitment to partnership. Done right, franchising can multiply your brand impact, your revenue streams, and your legacy, turning a single successful business into a powerful network that thrives for generations.
Chapter 4. How to evaluate franchise opportunities and avoid common pitfalls. Buying a franchise can be one of the most exciting steps towards business ownership, but it also requires careful, methodical evaluation to avoid costly mistakes. Unlike starting a business from scratch, a franchise offers a packaged system, but it doesn't guarantee success. This chapter provides a step-by-step framework to evaluate franchise opportunities critically, understand the risks involved, and navigate the common pitfalls that prospective franchisees face. Section 1. Define your personal and financial goals. Before you start looking seriously at franchises, clarify your financial goals. How much income you want, how much risk you're willing to take, and your available capital. Consider your lifestyle preferences, how much time and involvement you want, and the kind of work environment you prefer. Identify your skills and interests, which industries or business models align with your strengths and passions. A clear self-assessment narrows your search and helps you focus on the right opportunities. Section 2. Research the franchise industry and market. Understand the industry trends, demand, and competition in your target location. Analyze the franchise's market position and brand strength. Look for growth potential, barriers to entry, and any regulatory challenges. This industry-level research gives context to the specific franchise opportunity. Section 3. Request and review the Franchise Disclosure Document, FDD. The FDD is a legal document franchisors must provide that discloses critical information, including history of the franchisor and litigation history, initial and ongoing fees, estimated initial investment and other costs, obligations and restrictions on franchisees, financial performance representations if provided, territory rights and renewal terms, franchisee support services and training details. Tips for reviewing the FDD. Read every section carefully. Don't rush.
Look for fees, restrictions, and obligations that may impact profitability or control. Consult a franchise attorney for a professional legal review. Section 4. Analyze financial performance representations. If the franchisor provides an earnings claim, item 19 in the FDD, scrutinize it carefully. Understand the assumptions behind the numbers. Check how many franchisors report profitability and at what levels. Compare with industry averages and your financial goals. If no earnings claim is provided, request independent data or franchisee interviews to gauge performance. Section 5. Conduct due diligence by speaking to franchisees. Talk to multiple current franchisees and ask about their experience, support from franchisor, profitability, challenges, and satisfaction. Seek out franchisees who are both successful and those who have struggled. Ask about hidden costs, training quality, marketing effectiveness, and daily operations. These conversations often reveal insights unavailable elsewhere. Section 6. Evaluate the franchise agreement carefully. The franchise agreement governs your legal relationship with the franchisor and includes term length and renewal options, territory and exclusivity rights, fees and payment obligations, restrictions on operations, suppliers, and marketing, termination clauses and post-termination obligations. Work with a franchise lawyer to negotiate or clarify any concerns before signing. Section 7. Consider your ability to operate the business. Evaluate whether your skills and background fit the franchise's operational demands. Assess how much time you must commit and whether you can hire the right team. Consider any required licenses, certifications, or training. Being honest with yourself helps avoid frustration and failure. Section 8. Beware of common pitfalls. Overestimating profits. Many new franchisees expect unrealistic returns early on. Ignoring total costs, including build-out, marketing, insurance, and working capital.
Neglecting market research, assuming brand alone guarantees customers. Underestimating time commitment. Some franchises require full-time, hands-on management. Skipping legal advice. The franchise agreement is complex and binding. Relying on franchisor promises alone. Validate everything independently. Section 9. Plan your financing strategically. Explore multiple financing options, including SBA loans, bank financing, personal savings, and investors. Ensure you have enough working capital for at least 6 to 12 months of operations. Understand lender requirements and how franchise fees and royalties impact cash flow. Section 10. Use a decision-making checklist. Before finalizing your franchise choice, run through this checklist. Do your financial goals align with the franchise's performance data? Have you spoken with multiple franchisees? Do you fully understand the fees and obligations? Are you confident in the support and training offered? Can you commit the required time and energy? Have you consulted a franchise attorney? Do you have a financing plan in place? Have you analyzed the competitive and local market conditions? If you can confidently answer yes to these, you're well positioned to move forward. Section 11. Final thoughts. Franchise ownership can be a rewarding path to entrepreneurship, but it requires rigorous due diligence and realistic expectations. Your success depends largely on how thoroughly you research, evaluate, and prepare before committing. Approach the process with curiosity, caution, and a clear mind, and you'll maximize your chances of finding a franchise opportunity that truly fits your goals and leads to long-term success.
Chapter 5. Franchise Operations. Running and growing your franchise successfully. Owning a franchise means more than just opening doors and waiting for customers. Success depends on your ability to operate the business efficiently, maintain brand standards, and grow your enterprise strategically. This chapter offers a practical roadmap for managing your franchise business, overcoming operational challenges, and building a foundation for sustainable growth. Section 1.
Mastering daily operations. Your daily routines set the foundation for consistent customer experiences and financial performance. Focus areas include staff management, hiring, training, scheduling, and retaining reliable employees who uphold your brand values. Customer service, delivering exceptional experiences consistently to build loyalty and positive word of mouth. Inventory and supplies, maintaining optimal stock levels without tying up excessive capital or risking shortages. Financial controls, tracking sales, expenses, cash flow, and profitability closely to spot issues early. Compliance, adhering to franchisor policies, health and safety regulations, and local laws. Develop clear checklists and protocols to standardize these daily tasks. Section 2. Leveraging franchisor support. Your franchisor is a partner in your success. Utilize the support available. Attend training sessions and refresher courses. Engage actively with franchisee networks and forums. Use provided marketing materials and campaigns. Request operational guidance and field visits. Take advantage of technology platforms and reporting tools. Don't hesitate to ask questions and seek help early to prevent small problems from becoming big ones. Section 3. Managing staff and building a strong team. Hire for attitude and train for skills. Align employees with your brand culture. Create incentive programs and growth paths to reduce turnover. Foster open communication and feedback to maintain morale. Schedule efficiently to balance
labor costs and service quality. Your team is your frontline brand ambassador. Investing in them pays off. Section 4. Marketing your franchise locally. While franchisors often handle national advertising, your local marketing efforts drive immediate sales. Engage your community through events, sponsorships, and partnerships. Use social media and online reviews to build local awareness. Implement loyalty programs and referral incentives. Leverage local SEO to improve online visibility. Track the effectiveness of your marketing activities and adapt strategies based on results. Section 5. Monitoring financial performance. Use weekly and monthly financial reports to track revenue, costs, and profits. Compare your performance to franchisor benchmarks and industry averages. Identify trends and address any negative variances promptly. Plan for seasonal fluctuations with appropriate cash reserves. Financial discipline ensures you maintain profitability and can reinvest in growth. Section 6. Scaling your franchise business. Once your first location is stable and profitable, consider growth. Evaluate opportunities to open additional units yourself. Consider acquiring existing franchise units in your area. Build management teams to oversee multiple locations. Leverage franchisor resources for multi-unit operators. Maintain quality control and brand standards as you scale. Scaling requires shifting from operator to leader, delegating daily tasks, and focusing on strategic decisions. Section 7. Handling challenges and conflict. Inevitable challenges may arise, such as staffing shortages or performance issues, customer complaints or service failures, supply chain disruptions, conflicts with franchisor policies or other franchisees. Approach problems proactively, communicate openly, and use available support networks. Section 8. Continuing education and adaptation. Markets evolve, customer preferences change, and franchisors update systems.
Stay ahead by participating in ongoing training and conferences, keeping abreast of industry trends and new technologies, soliciting feedback from customers and staff, being willing to innovate within brand guidelines,
Continuous improvement strengthens your competitive advantage. Section 9. Building long-term value. Your franchise is an asset that can generate wealth beyond day-to-day profits. Maintain thorough records and documentation. Build a strong brand reputation in your community. Develop leadership within your team. Plan exit strategies or succession well in advance. A well-run franchise can be sold or passed on with significant value. Section 10. Final thoughts. Running and growing a franchise successfully requires dedication, focus, and adaptability. By mastering daily operations, leveraging franchisor support, marketing effectively, managing finances rigorously, and planning for growth, you position yourself for lasting success. Remember, your franchise is a living system. Nurture it carefully, and it will reward you for years to come.
Chapter 6. Building Leadership and Managing a Franchise Team. A franchise may come with a proven brand, tested systems, and established processes, but the real engine of success is people. Your employees, supervisors, managers, and even suppliers all form the human ecosystem that determines how your franchise performs day to day. Strong leadership is not about authority or titles. It is about influence, communication, alignment, and trust. In this chapter, we explore how to develop leadership skills, build high-performing teams, create a positive workplace culture, and manage people in a way that strengthens both performance and morale. Section 1. Why leadership matters more than management. Management focuses on schedules, tasks, compliance, processes. Leadership focuses on vision, motivation, development, culture. Both are necessary, but weak leadership can cause staff turnover, poor customer service, low productivity, workplace conflict. Strong leadership creates loyal employees, consistent performance, smooth daily operations, a motivated and engaged workforce. Franchise success is rarely about systems alone. It is about people who believe in the mission and feel valued. Section 2. Defining your leadership style. Every franchise owner leads differently. Understanding your natural style helps you manage better. Common leadership styles in franchise operations: authoritative, clear direction, structured expectations; coaching, focus on teaching and development; collaborative, team input and shared decisions; hands-on operator, works closely on the floor with staff; delegative or strategic, empowers managers and leads from oversight. The best leaders blend styles depending on situations, but consistency, fairness, and respect are non-negotiable. Section 3. Building the right team from the start. Hiring is not just filling positions. It is selecting people who represent your brand.
Key hiring priorities: attitude over experience, reliability and integrity, customer-focused mindset, willingness to learn, alignment with franchise standards. Practical hiring steps: use clear job descriptions tied to brand expectations. Conduct structured interviews. Check references where appropriate. Introduce candidates to real workplace scenarios. A strong hiring system prevents many operational problems before they begin. Section 4. Training as a leadership tool. Training is not a one-time orientation. It is continuous skill building. Core training areas: customer service standards, safety and compliance, product or service procedures, technology and POS systems, communication and teamwork. Effective training practices: combined written, visual, and hands-on learning.
reinforce franchise brand values, provide refresher training sessions, encourage peer learning and mentoring. Employees who feel well trained perform better and stay longer. Section 5. Creating a positive workplace culture. Culture is how people feel when they come to work. It influences motivation, performance, customer experience, staff retention. Ways to build a healthy culture. Lead by example. Show respect and professionalism. Communicate openly and regularly. Recognize effort and achievements. Encourage teamwork rather than competition. Address conflicts early and fairly. A strong culture becomes your silent competitive advantage. Section 6. Communication, the foundation of strong leadership. Poor communication leads to confusion and mistakes. Effective communication builds trust. Best practices. Hold brief daily huddles or weekly check-ins. Share goals and performance updates. Give clear, constructive feedback. Listen actively to employee concerns. Encourage upward communication, not just top-down. When employees feel heard, they take greater ownership of their roles. Section 7. Motivating and retaining your team. Replacing staff is expensive and disruptive. Retention comes from engagement and appreciation.
Ways to motivate staff. Fair and transparent scheduling. Growth opportunities and role progression. Incentives tied to performance or service quality. Public recognition for contributions. Supportive work environment. Employees who feel valued stay longer and deliver better service. Section 8. Developing supervisors and future leaders. As your franchise grows, you cannot manage everything alone. You must develop leadership layers. Steps to build internal leaders. Identify dependable, proactive team members. Provide mentorship and additional responsibilities. Offer leadership and communication training. Gradually transition them into supervisory roles. This prepares your business for multi-unit expansion or absentee ownership. Section 9. Handling conflict, discipline, and performance issues. Even strong teams experience challenges. Effective leaders address them calmly and professionally. Guiding principles. Stay objective, not emotional. Focus on behavior and performance, not personality. Document issues and expectations. Provide coaching before discipline when appropriate. Escalate fairly when policies are violated. Consistency maintains respect and protects workplace harmony. Section 10. Leadership growth and self-reflection. Great leaders never stop learning. Ways to grow as a leader. Seek feedback from your team. Learn from other franchise owners. Attend leadership workshops or webinars. Reflect regularly on decisions and outcomes. Stay adaptive as your business evolves. Leadership is a journey of continuous improvement. Section 11. Final thoughts. Your franchise's long-term success depends not only on systems and strategies, but on how you lead people. When employees feel supported, included, and valued, they give their best effort, and your business thrives as a result. Leadership is not about control. It is about empowering others to perform at their highest level.
Chapter 7. How to become a franchisor. Turning your business into a franchise. Franchising isn't only for big corporations or famous restaurant chains. Many of the world's most successful franchise brands started as one small, well-run local business that figured out how to replicate itself. Becoming a franchisor can be one of the fastest ways to expand, generate recurring revenue, and build long-term wealth.
but it is also one of the most complex and responsibility-heavy growth strategies an entrepreneur can pursue. This chapter walks you step by step through what it truly takes to transform your existing business into a franchise system, legally, operationally, financially, and strategically. You'll learn not only how franchising works from the franchisor's side, but also whether it is the right path for your business at all. 7.2. The first question: is your business franchise ready? Not every business should be franchised, and not every profitable business can be franchised. A franchisable business typically has strong, predictable demand in multiple regions, a concept that can be duplicated consistently, clear operating procedures, competitive differentiation, something unique, proven profitability, ideally across time, not just one good year, branding that can be standardized, potential for growth beyond the founder.
Ask yourself honestly, can another person operate this business successfully without me present if I train them and give them my system? If the answer is no, you aren't ready to franchise yet, but you can work toward readiness. 7.3. Step 1. Standardizing your business model. Before franchising, you must turn your business from a personal operation into a documented system. This means creating standard operating procedures, SOPs, training manuals, employee onboarding frameworks, customer service standards, quality control methods, pricing guidelines, operational checklists, marketing playbooks. Think of your business like a recipe. A franchise must allow someone in another city to follow the same steps and produce the same outcome. If your success currently depends on your personality, intuition, or personal relationships, your business must first be systemized. 7.4. Step 2. Proving the model with multi-location testing. Most strong franchises operate at least 2 or 3 company-owned locations before selling their first franchise. Why this matters? It proves your system works in more than one environment. It shows performance is replicable, not accidental. It reveals weaknesses you may not see in a single location model. It demonstrates brand scalability. If location number 2 or number 3 struggles heavily while the original thrives, the issue is usually dependence on the founder, not the business model, and franchising at that stage would be premature. 7.5. Step 3. Protecting your brand legally. Before offering franchises, you must secure your intellectual property. Trademark your brand name, trademark your logo, protect slogans, visual identity, and proprietary systems. Register your brand in relevant markets and jurisdictions. A franchise's greatest asset is the brand, and without legal protection, you risk imitation, disputes, or loss of control. Brand protection is not optional, it is foundational.
7.6. Step 4. Building the Franchise Operations Manual. The Franchise Operations Manual is the heart of your system. It should cover business philosophy and brand standards, daily operations and workflows, hiring and training processes, customer experience management, equipment and supply requirements, health, safety, and compliance procedures, marketing and community engagement, performance benchmarking, troubleshooting and escalation steps. If a franchisee has a question, the manual should answer it before they ask. Well-built systems reduce conflict, confusion, and dependency, and increase success rates. 7.7. Step 5. Creating the Franchise Training Program. Your training program must transform ordinary people into capable operators of your brand. Effective training blends classroom learning, on-site shadowing, practical hands-on operations, ongoing mentorship, refresher workshops, online learning resources, support hotlines and help desks. Training is not a one-time event.
It is a continuous development process. Strong training protects brand quality, customer experience, franchisee performance, reputation, and legal security. Weak training leads to failure, disputes, and brand erosion. 7.8. Step 6. Structuring franchise fees and royalties. A franchisor typically earns revenue through initial franchise fees, entry fee, ongoing royalties, percentage of revenue, marketing fund contributions, optional technology platform fees, training fees, supply chain margins, renewal fees. Your fee structure must be fair and sustainable, provide value to franchisees, support your support infrastructure, remain competitive within your industry, avoid overburdening early-stage operators. The best franchisors understand franchisees are not customers, they are partners. Their success funds your success. When franchisees win, the system grows. When they struggle, the network weakens.
7.9. Step 7. Building franchise support infrastructure. Once you become a franchisor, your primary job is support and leadership, not day-to-day operations. A strong support structure includes field support representatives, business performance coaching, marketing and branding assistance, technology and software systems, national procurement and supply chain, compliance and auditing programs, regular communication channels, franchisee advisory councils. Successful franchise networks are communities, not just business transactions. Franchisees should feel guided, supported, heard, connected. Isolation kills morale and weakens networks. 7.10. Step 8. Legal and regulatory compliance. Franchising is highly regulated in many countries. Typical legal requirements include a franchise disclosure document or equivalent, financial performance transparency, legal agreements defining obligations and rights, consumer protection and business law compliance, disclosure timelines before agreements are signed. Work with an experienced franchise attorney. Franchising without proper compliance can lead to costly penalties, lawsuits, and operational shutdowns. Legal structure isn't just protection, it is credibility. 7.11. Step 9. Selecting the right franchisees. Not everyone who can afford your franchise should be allowed to buy one. Ideal franchisees typically demonstrate strong work ethic, leadership capability, financial responsibility, willingness to follow systems, alignment with brand values, commitment to long-term growth. Red flags include, I want to do things my own way. I just want passive income. I don't like being supervised. I only care about profits. Your network is only as strong as its weakest operator. Choosing the wrong franchisees can damage customer experience, brand reputation, legal security, franchise network morale. A disciplined selection process protects everyone.
7.12. Step 10. Launching, expanding, and sustaining the franchise system. Once your first franchise location opens, your work truly begins. Your priorities shift to supporting early franchisees relentlessly, gathering performance data, refining systems and manuals, strengthening brand recognition, expanding steadily, not recklessly, maintaining culture and standards, reinforcing long-term trust. The first few franchise locations are proof of concept for the world. If they succeed, growth opportunities multiply. If they struggle, future expansion becomes difficult. Great franchisors understand. Scale requires patience, discipline, and humility. 7.13. The ethical responsibility of being a franchisor. When you sell a franchise, you are not just selling a business license. You are selling someone's dreams, savings, family future, financial security. Franchising carries moral responsibility.
An ethical franchisor tells the truth about risks, does not oversell potential earnings, provides real support, not empty promises, views franchisees as partners, not revenue sources. Integrity builds legacy brands. Exploitation destroys them. 7.14 Key takeaways from Chapter 7. Franchising your business is a strategic evolution, not a shortcut. Your success now depends on systems, training, and support, not personal effort alone. Strong franchisors protect brand standards, invest in infrastructure, and choose franchisees wisely. The early years require patience, discipline, and ethical leadership. Done well, franchising can transform a local business into a lasting, scalable enterprise that impacts communities and creates generational opportunity.
Chapter 8. Scaling and Managing a Growing Franchise Network. Becoming a franchisor is only the beginning. The real challenge emerges when the franchise expands beyond the first few locations and enters the phase of network growth, when systems must evolve, leadership must mature, and strategic discipline becomes critical. Scaling a franchise is not simply about adding more locations. It is about preserving brand identity while expanding geographically, strengthening support as the network becomes larger and more diverse, managing culture across different owners, cities, and markets, balancing growth speed with quality control, preparing infrastructure for long-term sustainability. Growth magnifies both strengths and weaknesses. A strong system becomes stronger at scale. A fragile one fractures. This chapter explores how to manage, strengthen, and strategically scale a franchise network once expansion begins. 8.1. The difference between expansion and scale. Many businesses grow, but not all businesses scale. Growth means adding more units, more franchisees, more transactions. Scale means expanding while improving efficiency, profitability, and systems performance. A scalable franchise system is one where support costs do not skyrocket as locations increase. Processes become smoother, not more chaotic. Technology strengthens visibility and control. Communication improves instead of becoming overwhelmed. Culture remains unified despite geographic distance. Scale is deliberate. Growth without structure leads to burnout, disputes, and brand decline. 8.2. The 3 stages of franchise network growth. Most franchise systems evolve through 3 major stages. Stage 1. Early expansion. 1 to 10 locations. Focus. Refining operations. Supporting early franchisees intensively. Strengthening brand identity. Establishing credibility. Challenges. Inconsistent performance between locations. Overdependence on founder decisions. Limited support resources. Success at this stage builds the foundation for future growth. Stage 2. Structured growth. 10 to 50 locations. Focus. Building scalable infrastructure. Hiring specialized leadership teams. Introducing standardized support programs. Strengthening supply chain systems. Challenges. Maintaining culture as network diversifies. Avoiding uneven growth across regions. Balancing strategic expansion versus opportunistic deals. This stage determines whether the franchise becomes a strong regional brand or stagnates. Stage 3. National or international scale. 50+ locations. Focus. Advanced performance management. Technology-driven oversight. National brand strategy and partnerships. Multi-market adaptation. Challenges. Compliance and quality consistency across regions. Increased legal and regulatory exposure. higher reputational risk, complex franchisee relationship dynamics. At this level, franchising becomes institutional leadership, not just entrepreneurship. 8.3. Building the leadership structure for a growing franchise. As the franchise grows, the founder must transition from operator to organizational leader. This requires building a leadership framework that includes roles such as franchise development director, operations and field support managers, training and learning director, marketing and brand strategy lead, supply chain and vendor relations manager, technology and systems manager, franchise compliance officer, finance and performance analyst. A scalable franchise is led by teams, not personalities. The founder's job evolves into vision and strategy, culture leadership, high-level decision-making, network relationship building. Founders who refuse to delegate become growth bottlenecks.
8.4. Maintaining brand consistency across multiple locations. The bigger a franchise becomes, the harder it is to maintain brand consistency. Yet consistency is the essence of franchising. Customer expectations rely on sameness. Same experience in every location, same quality of service, same environment, tone, and atmosphere, same brand behavior and promise. Consistency protects brand trust. Franchisors enforce consistency through clear brand standards, regular operational audits, mystery shopping programs, training refreshers, performance scorecards, visual identity guidelines. Consistency is not rigidity, it is disciplined predictability. 8.5. The role of technology in franchise scaling. Technology becomes the backbone of a growing network. Key systems include point-of-sale data integration, financial reporting dashboards, centralized communication platforms, training portals and online learning systems, inventory and supply management software, franchise intranet and knowledge hubs, customer experience monitoring systems. Technology serves three vital roles: visibility, real-time understanding of performance; consistency, standardized processes and execution; efficiency, reduced manual workloads and errors. A modern franchise is data-driven, not assumption-driven. 8.6. Performance management and franchisee success monitoring. In a growing network, franchisors must carefully balance supporting franchisees, holding them accountable. Performance management systems often include key performance indicators, revenue to expense benchmarks, customer retention and satisfaction metrics, employee turnover trends, local marketing effectiveness, compliance evaluation scores. Instead of policing franchisees, strong franchisees coach them to success. Conversations shift from, "You're not following the rules," to, "Here's what your numbers show. Let's work together to improve performance." Partnership replaces confrontation, but accountability remains firm. 8.7. Franchisee relationships, culture, and community. Franchisee networks thrive on belonging. A strong system builds collaborative culture, franchisee advisory boards, peer mentoring groups, annual conventions and retreats, regular town hall meetings, recognition and awards programs, shared best practice exchanges. When franchisees feel heard and valued, they engage more deeply, improve performance, support brand initiatives, stay loyal long-term. Neglected franchisees become resentful, and resentment spreads faster than success. Culture is not accidental. It must be intentionally cultivated. 8.8. Managing conflict, disputes, and underperforming franchisees. No franchise system grows without encountering conflict or underperformance. Common issues include business struggles due to poor management, violation of brand standards, failure to follow operational systems, disagreements about marketing or fees, unrealistic expectations about profits,
A mature franchisor approaches conflict through diagnosis, understand the true cause. Coaching and support, attempt improvement. Structured remediation plans, clear steps to recovery. Firm enforcement when necessary, protect the system. The goal is not punishment. The goal is protecting the brand and supporting success. But when a franchisee endangers the network, decisive leadership becomes necessary. 8.9. Expanding into new regions and international markets. Geographic expansion introduces new layers of complexity. Cultural differences, legal frameworks, supply chain variations, customer behavior gaps, economic and pricing differences. Successful regional or international expansion requires deep market research, local partnerships or master franchise agreements, adaptive but not diluted brand standards, carefully piloted entry strategies. The question is not, can we expand there? The real question is, should we expand there, and are we ready? Strategic patience prevents costly mistakes.
8.10. The economics of scaling a franchise system. As a franchise grows, economics shift significantly. Revenue grows through increasing royalty base, expanding marketing fund contributions, technology and support service fees. But costs also rise. Support staff and infrastructure, technology investments, legal and compliance management, national marketing obligations. A scalable system finds balance between supporting franchisees adequately, maintaining sustainable franchisor profitability, reinvesting in long-term strength. Short-term greed weakens networks. Long-term stewardship builds legacy brands. 8.11. Preventing franchise system collapse. Some franchise systems grow rapidly, then crash. Failures often result from expanding too fast without support capacity, weak franchisee selection screening, over-reliance on aggressive sales over quality partnerships, neglecting training and operational integrity, abandoning culture in pursuit of numbers. A franchise does not fail suddenly, it erodes quietly. Prevention requires discipline, honesty about weaknesses, willingness to slow growth when needed, strong ethical leadership. Franchising is not just a business model, it is a long-term trust structure. 8.12. Key takeaways from Chapter 8. Scaling a franchise requires structure, systems, and leadership maturity. Growth reveals weaknesses. Disciplined franchisors strengthen systems before expanding aggressively. Technology, culture, performance management, and accountability become increasingly critical as the network grows. Franchise success depends not only on expansion, but on sustaining quality, unity, and ethical responsibility at scale. A franchise that scales with wisdom becomes more than a network of businesses. It becomes a shared ecosystem of opportunity, stability, and long-term economic impact.
Chapter 9. Risk, responsibility, and long-term sustainability in franchising. Franchising is often presented as a lower-risk way to start or expand a business. While it can reduce uncertainty through proven systems, it does not eliminate risk, it redistributes it. Franchisees risk their personal investment and livelihood. Franchisors risk their brand, legal exposure, and long-term credibility. Success in franchising requires discipline, transparency, and ethical leadership. This chapter explores the risks, obligations, and sustainability principles that both franchisors and franchisees must understand to build stable, trustworthy, and enduring franchise systems. 9.1. Understanding the real risks in franchising.
Franchising introduces multiple layers of risk that go far beyond financial investment. These include operational risk. Poor execution damages brand trust. Reputation risk. One bad location can affect the entire network. Legal risk. Misrepresentation, non-compliance, or disputes. Cultural risk. Misalignment between franchisor and franchisee values. Strategic risk. Growing too fast or in the wrong markets. Relationship risk. Conflict replacing collaboration. Franchising succeeds when risk is managed proactively, not ignored or minimized. 9.2. Ethical responsibility in franchise relationships. A franchise is not just a contract, it is a mutual commitment. Franchisors carry moral responsibility because franchisees invest. Their savings, their credit, their family security, their time and future aspirations. An ethical franchisor communicates honestly, provides realistic expectations, supports franchisees responsibly, avoids aggressive, deceptive selling, treats franchisees as partners, not customers. An ethical franchisee follows the system they agree to operate, protects the brand reputation, communicates openly, acts with professionalism and integrity, understands that success requires effort, not entitlement.
Trust is the invisible infrastructure of every sustainable franchise system. 9.3. Legal compliance and regulatory obligations. Franchising is one of the most regulated expansion models in business, and for good reason. Regulation protects franchise buyers from exploitation and ensures franchisors operate transparently. Typical legal obligations include disclosure requirements before contracts are signed, financial representation standards, territorial rights and operational rules, clear explanation of fees, royalties, and obligations, rules governing termination, renewal, and dispute handling. Franchisors must work with experienced franchise legal counsel, while franchisees must read and understand every clause before signing. Legal ignorance is not protection, it is vulnerability. 9.4. The psychological dynamics of franchising. Franchising operates at the crossroads of entrepreneurship, dependence on a system, autonomy, accountability. Psychological friction occurs when franchisees want independence without responsibility. Franchisors demand obedience without support. Expectations are mismatched from the beginning. Sustainable systems foster mutual respect, clear boundaries, shared success culture, transparent communication channels. Franchising fails not only from bad economics, but from broken relationships. 9.5. Financial discipline and long-term stability. For franchisors, sustainability requires not overselling territories for short-term revenue, reinvesting royalties into support and infrastructure, ensuring franchisees can remain profitable, avoiding over-leveraged expansion. For franchisees, sustainability requires responsible borrowing, working capital reserves, ongoing reinvestment into operations, conservative revenue projections, respect for cash flow discipline. Franchising rewards those who treat it not as a quick gain, but as a long-term professional enterprise.
Resilient franchises prepare for market shifts, consumer behavior changes, supply chain disruptions, public relations challenges, regulatory changes. During crises, strong franchisors communicate frequently and clearly, provide support, guidance, and resources, encourage collaboration between franchisees, make decisions that protect the entire network, not short-term profit,
crisis periods reveal whether a franchise operates as a true partnership or a transactional system. 9.7. When a franchise relationship breaks down. Despite best efforts, some franchise relationships deteriorate. Breakdowns often occur because of unrealistic expectations, poor operational performance, disregard for brand standards, financial mismanagement, lack of communication, resentment or distrust. Wise franchisors approach failing relationships through assessment and diagnosis, coaching and corrective action plans, structured performance review periods, mediation where possible, formal enforcement only when necessary. The goal is recovery, not conflict, but the brand must remain protected. 9.8. The role of transparency and data integrity. Sustainable franchise systems rely on accurate sales reporting, expense and cost metrics, customer satisfaction levels, operational performance data. Data creates fairness, accountability, strategic clarity. When data integrity collapses, decision-making collapses with it, and the system weakens. 9.9. Ethical growth versus exploitative expansion. Some franchise systems prioritize selling more territories over supporting existing franchisees. This creates market oversaturation, internal competition, franchisee financial distress, brand dilution. Ethical growth means expanding only when support infrastructure is ready, protecting franchisee territories, valuing performance over aggressive sales, building sustainable networks, not revenue spikes. A franchise system is only as strong as the well-being of its operators.
9.10. Franchise failure. Lessons and warning signs. Franchise failures rarely happen suddenly. They build gradually. Warning signs include high franchisee turnover, increasing disputes and complaints, weak financial performance across locations, heavy recruitment pressure rather than organic demand, decline in brand reputation. Failure is preventable when leaders listen early, intervene effectively, invest in support systems, prioritize long-term trust over short-term gain. Resilient franchise systems treat problems as signals to strengthen the model. 9.11. Franchising as a legacy and stewardship model. At its best, franchising becomes a community of entrepreneurs, a pathway for wealth creation, a system for local job development, a partnership-driven business ecosystem. The highest level of franchising is stewardship, protecting the brand, elevating operators, cultivating economic opportunity, ensuring ethical leadership across generations. Franchising is not only about building businesses, it is about building enduring economic communities. 9.12. Key takeaways from Chapter 9. Franchising carries both opportunity and serious responsibility. Ethical leadership, transparency, and legal discipline are essential to sustainability. Both franchisors and franchisees must respect boundaries, systems, and shared obligations. Long-term success depends not only on profits, but on trust, fairness, resilience, and integrity. A strong franchise system is not built on rapid expansion. It is built on responsible growth, disciplined support, and mutual respect.
Chapter 10. Case studies, success models, and lessons from real-world franchising. Franchising is not just a theory or a business model on paper. It is a real-world system shaped by people, decisions, markets, leadership styles, economic pressures, and long-term strategic choices. The most powerful lessons in franchising come not from concepts, but from stories of what actually happens when franchising is applied in practice. In this chapter, we explore a range of franchise journeys, businesses that scaled successfully, brands that struggled or collapsed, and companies that reinvented themselves mid-journey. Each case reveals principles about leadership, ethics, growth strategy, resilience, and the delicate balance between expansion and sustainability. These stories are not meant to idealize or criticize specific businesses, but to help entrepreneurs recognize patterns, signals, and choices that shape outcomes in the franchising world. 10.1. Case Study, a small local concept that became a scalable franchise. Imagine a small neighborhood bakery founded by a passionate baker who developed a unique brand identity, consistent product quality, and strong community loyalty. The business eventually opened a second and third location, each operating profitably using the same systems, suppliers, recipes, and customer experience model. Rather than rushing into franchising, the founder documented every operational process, built training and quality standards, tested operations across multiple locations, strengthened supply chain relationships, protected brand trademarks. Only after proving consistency did the business begin franchising, starting with a small group of carefully selected owners. Growth was steady, not aggressive. Intensive training, strong support programs, franchise advisory councils, regional mentors, shared best practice systems. The result was a healthy, unified franchise culture built on trust, collaboration, and long-term stability.
Key lesson: sustainable franchise growth comes from discipline, patience, testing, and commitment to brand integrity, not from rushing to sell as many territories as possible. 10.2. Case Study, a cleaning franchise built on operational systems. A residential and commercial cleaning company began franchising after developing standardized cleaning protocols, strong health and safety procedures, centralized scheduling technology, quality inspection checklists, clear service pricing models. Unlike hospitality or retail franchises, this brand depended more on workforce training, route optimization, customer retention, trust, and reliability. The franchisor invested heavily in call center support, marketing automation, performance dashboards, customer feedback analytics. Franchisees benefited from operational efficiency rather than physical storefront branding. Growth was consistent because the business model solved a recurring need and delivered predictable service quality. Key lesson: service-based franchises succeed when systems create efficiency, trust, and repeatable customer outcomes, not just brand visibility. 10.3. Case Study, a fitness franchise that expanded too quickly. A boutique fitness brand rose rapidly in popularity, driven by social media trends and lifestyle marketing. Demand seemed endless, so the franchisor began selling territories at high speed. Challenges emerged. Support infrastructure lagged behind expansion. Training was rushed. Franchisee selection standards weakened. Markets became oversaturated. Competing locations cannibalized revenue. As operating costs rose and membership declined, many franchisees struggled. Tension increased between franchisor revenue goals and franchisee financial reality. The system eventually slowed expansion, restructured, and reinvested in operations support, member experience, trainer development, realistic market analysis. Recovery was possible, but damage took years to repair.
Key lesson: rapid expansion without operational depth leads to fragility, resentment, and network instability, especially in trend-driven industries. 10.4. Case Study, a retail franchise that reinvented its model. A retail franchise built around brick-and-mortar shopping began losing sales as e-commerce competition increased.
Instead of resisting change, the franchisor shifted strategy. Integrated online ordering with in-store fulfillment. Introduced click and collect programs. Expanded digital marketing training. Added inventory analytics tools. Redesigned stores to enhance experience rather than just transactions. Franchisees initially resisted the shift, but performance data gradually proved its value. The brand evolved from traditional retail to hybrid retail experience commerce, preserving relevance and profitability. Key lesson: franchises that survive disruption are those willing to adapt systems, technology, and customer experience models without abandoning core identity. 10.5 Case Study: When franchise-franchisor relationships break down. A restaurant franchise faced increasing conflict between corporate leadership and franchise owners over rising supply costs, expanded fees, aggressive marketing requirements, operational mandates without consulting franchisees. Franchisees felt controlled rather than supported. Trust eroded. Disputes and public tension weakened brand reputation. After several years, new leadership entered with a different approach. Established franchisee advisory councils, conducted shared financial analysis, reduced unnecessary mandates, reinforced transparency and respect. Gradually, collaboration replaced confrontation, and performance stabilized. Key lesson: franchise networks operate on relationship equity. When trust breaks, the system weakens. When trust is rebuilt, performance strengthens.
10.6 Case Study: International Expansion Done Right. A franchise with strong regional performance decided to expand internationally, but instead of entering foreign markets blindly, it conducted deep cultural research, partnered with experienced local operators, adapted menus, pricing, and branding elements without diluting identity, modified operating hours and product mix for regional lifestyles, piloted locations before mass rollout. Because expansion was thoughtful rather than impulsive, the brand developed long-term, culturally aligned success abroad. Key lesson: international franchising works when growth is adaptive, respectful, culturally informed, and strategically paced. 10.7 Case Study: When franchising was the wrong growth model. A highly creative boutique business attempted franchising even though the brand relied heavily on personal craftsmanship, artistic style, individual creativity, founder-driven decision-making. Despite training attempts, results varied widely. Customer experience was inconsistent, and brand meaning became diluted. Eventually, the business discontinued franchising and returned to company-owned expansion and licensing partnerships instead. Key lesson: not every successful business should become a franchise. If a model depends on individual personality or artistic uniqueness, replication may weaken rather than strengthen it. 10.8 Cross-case themes and strategic patterns. Across all these examples, certain truths repeat themselves. The best franchises grow slowly, deliberately, and structurally. The weakest franchises grow quickly, reactively, and opportunistically. Support is more important than sales. Relationships matter as much as financial metrics. Systems determine success, not charisma, luck, or hype. Trust is the foundation upon which every strong franchise network is built. Franchising is not primarily an expansion method. It is a discipline of replication, leadership, ethics, and responsibility.
10.9 What these stories mean for future franchisors and franchisees. Whether you plan to buy a franchise, turn your business into a franchise, scale an existing network, invest, partner, or consult in the franchising world, these case studies serve as a compass.
They remind us that franchising is not guaranteed success, nor is it inherently safer than independent business ownership. Instead, it is a specialized system that rewards preparation, integrity, discipline, humility, collaboration, long-term thinking. The decision to franchise or to join a franchise should always be made with clarity, patience, and deep awareness of responsibility. 10.10 Final Reflection: The Human Dimension of Franchising. Behind every franchise location are families who invested their dreams, employees who depend on stable leadership, communities who trust the brand, customers who expect consistency, leaders responsible for stewardship. Franchising is not only an economic structure, it is a human ecosystem. Those who approach it with wisdom and respect create opportunity, stability, shared prosperity, long-lasting economic impact. Those who treat it casually or exploitatively risk harming not only themselves, but everyone connected to the system. Franchising at its highest level is not just business expansion. It is leadership practiced across many locations, many lives, and many futures.
Closing conclusion: from franchising student to franchising strategist. You've now journeyed through the full landscape of franchising, from understanding the business model, to comparing industries, to evaluating costs, performing due diligence, securing financing, managing operations, and even learning how to become a franchisor yourself. What began as a technical topic has evolved into a strategic roadmap for building wealth, creating opportunities, and scaling businesses with intention. Franchising is not just a business structure. It is a discipline of systems thinking, leadership, brand consistency, and value replication. It rewards people who are patient, detail-oriented, ethical, and disciplined. It punishes shortcuts, emotional decisions, and unprepared investors. The franchise world may appear glamorous on the surface: recognizable brands, busy storefronts, and rapid expansion. But behind every successful franchise lies structure, training, strong operations, tight cost controls, and relentless execution. Franchising as a pathway, not a shortcut. One of the most important lessons throughout this book is that franchising is not a guaranteed success machine. It is a framework. Some people fail in franchising, others thrive beyond imagination. The difference is rarely luck, it is preparation. Successful franchise owners treat the business like a professional enterprise, not a side hustle. Follow systems while still innovating within allowed boundaries. Build strong teams rather than relying on themselves alone. And remember that profitability is earned through consistency, not enthusiasm. Franchising rewards those who respect the model and understand numbers. Ownership versus employment, a shift in identity. Franchising transforms your mindset from "I work in business" to "I build systems that run a business."
You move from doing all the tasks yourself to creating processes so others can perform them reliably. This is why many franchisees eventually expand into multi-unit portfolios or even become franchisors. They begin to recognize patterns in customer behavior, repeatable operational steps, scalable service delivery, and transferable brand identity. At that stage, business ownership becomes architectural work rather than operational labor. The ethical responsibility of scaling franchising. Franchising doesn't just scale profits, it scales culture, values, and decisions. When you franchise your own concept, you are no longer running a business. You are becoming a steward of other people's livelihoods. Franchisees will invest savings, trust your systems, and build dreams under your brand. That comes with immense responsibility.
Your training must be real. Your support must be consistent. Your brand must have integrity. Your success should never depend on franchise fees alone. A great franchisor does not just sell locations. They build an ecosystem where others can succeed sustainably. The long game, wealth through compounding decisions. Franchising is most powerful when treated as a long-term wealth strategy. One franchise creates income. Multiple franchises create leverage. Becoming a franchisor builds generational value. Every operational improvement compounds across units. Every system enhancement increases brand equity. Every strong location strengthens the entire network. Over time, the franchise model can evolve from operator, investor, investor, regional developer, developer, brand creator. This is how ordinary entrepreneurs build extraordinary legacies. Your next step, from knowledge to action. Reading about franchising is the beginning, not the finish line.
The real transformation happens when you analyze opportunities with sharper judgment, negotiate with confidence, ask better questions, and make decisions based on strategy rather than emotion. Whether your path is to buy a franchise, scale multiple units, or build your own franchise system, you now possess a foundation many entrepreneurs never develop: structured thinking, financial awareness, operational clarity, and a blueprint for sustainable expansion. A final thought: franchising represents more than commerce. It represents the replication of excellence, the sharing of opportunity, the multiplication of value, and the belief that systems, when done right, can empower many instead of one. As you step forward from this book, remember, success in franchising is not about owning the most locations. It is about building businesses that last and people who grow with them. The journey continues from here, and now you are equipped to walk it with intention, strategy, and confidence.